Hey guys, in this video brought to you by Saline Aquatics, I just want to discuss, as you've seen in the thumbnail, do fish feel pain? I've been looking back and doing research from back to 2002 up to present day, and I cannot find anything that definitively says that fish do in fact feel pain or they do not feel pain. It's a debate that's ongoing, but I guess there are more growing recent studies finding that they do in fact feel pain. Apparently, in some of this new recent studies, they have found that when you're out fishing and you have a fish on the hook, they have found that they're on the jaw and the lips, they have found 22 pain receptors in there. That suggests that when they're wiggling around on that hook, it might not just be due to an unconscious, unself-aware reaction. It is due to actually feeling pain. Something to think about. Now, in 2019, there was a study done saying that there's no doubt that fish feel pain. That they're pretty sure there's no doubt that fish feel pain, but they process it differently compared to mammals and humans. And that is what is a lot more fuzzy. That's what they're not as sure of at this point. Let me start just by saying I am not an expert. I simply do research. I do a lot of research and looking into this stuff before I put these videos out, because I like to put information out on my channel that takes a whole broad spectrum of things and kind of condenses it down into a smaller thing to help kind of let you guys make a decision on what you think, especially on subjects like this. So I just wanted to get that out first and foremost. I'm not an expert. I just do a lot of research and put it together in a simple form. Let's get right into this video here. Do fish feel pain? This is a very loaded question, and to this date, no scientist can come to an agreement or a conclusion. Let's talk about a few things and see why. Let's jump right in. First, let's understand how processing pain works. In humans, when we get injured, it sends through nociceptors in our body, sends signals through our nerve lines and our spinal cord, which is then sent to our brain where we have a neocortex. And this is where humans process these signals as pain. But how does that work for fish? One thing that has been agreed on in fish is that they lack the neocortex and the fibers along with the psychological capacity to process pain. But in the same sense, they can learn, they can see, and they can pay attention. And to do all these things, you have to have the neocortex. So why wouldn't they feel pain as well? Fish do have simple receptors in their body that make them react to pain when something happens. But it's not understood if they're reacting to actual pain or if it's just like kind of being startled to something negatively happening to them or around them. In one study, they took 8 goldfish and they shocked them. They gave them a little shock, and of course they darted away. But what was more interesting about this is they were very apprehensive to return to the area that happened at. One of the cool things about this is if they didn't feel or process pain, why would they dart away like that and be apprehensive to return to that area? Well, if you and I get hurt and something happens, we're going to look where it happened because it hurt and probably avoid it. One of the studies have proven that they do avoid painful situations, as I just discussed in this particular study. Another study that was done is they took a fish that had an injured body part and they rubbed several different objects against it, like their hands or like a ball or something, some kind of an object against the injury, to where it would send humans like you and me through the roof. The fish had little to no reaction. So again, as you can see, it's really hard to discern if fish really do feel pain or not. Now, one thing fish do have is what's called noxious stimuli. This is a motor response to something bad happening to the body that says, hey, something's wrong, let's get out of here. So why would fish have that capability in their bodies if they didn't feel pain? Something to think about. When researching and talking about something like this, we have to kind of take the human emotional response out of these things. Because right away, as humans, we have hearts, we want to help everything, and we have love for all living things. Not everybody, but most people in the world have love for living things and want to help them regardless of what they are, unless it's a nasty spider that's too close to your house. But there's a lot of different variables when people are doing these studies, and you've got teams of scientists and researchers doing this stuff from, like I said, my research, I was going back from 2002 to present, and they do all these studies, and these two were just an example of what I said out of thousands of studies done on this subject, and they still to this date cannot accurately and logically say to people that fish can feel pain. So you can't just say, oh, fish feel pain, I know it because I accidentally moved a rock and it hit him and he jetted off. Well, we cannot figure out if all these responses to fish, right, something that negatively happens around them is a response to actual pain, or if it's just almost like being startled. The closest thing I can compare this to is a baby mind versus an adult mind. Fish have like unconscious awareness. They know stuff's going on around them, but they don't know what it is. Kind of like a baby. They have a lot of emotions going through their head, but they don't know what's going on to even know how to react to it. And that's kind of like how a brain of a fish works. But we cannot figure out if it is in fact true that they feel pain or not. But as I said prior in the different accounts, that there is a lot of conflicting proof showing they may or may not. Well, what do you guys think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think. Are fish reacting to negative things that are happening around them or to them with their unaware, unconscious brains? Or do you think that they can perceive pain and that's why they act accordingly? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. For sure. I'm very curious about your thoughts on this. In the end, there is no final proof that anybody has come to a conclusion that fish can actually feel pain. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for stopping by. Till next video.